joining me is Mr. Mubeen Mohamed, Mr. Rugby. This guy, he loves his rugby. So Mubeen, let's talk about tonight's game. Let's talk about Stormers up against Ulster, and also just excuse the DJ over there. He's just testing his sound system out. But I want to test this guy out. Let's talk about the Stormers thus far. Let's talk about where they find themselves now. I know that Dobbo spoke about the tour. They were obviously hurt them a little bit in terms of where the position is, but they got an opportunity to pull themselves back and get some momentum. Last week was one of the good eye games. Today another one as well. What's your thoughts on their campaign thus far and about having to win now at this moment?
Well, first of all, we have to look at the tour. That's where everything started. So they went north out of 4 on the tour. So that's what he's talking about, the disastrous tour they had. So what they're doing now is they have to play catch up for the log now. So they're trying to pull their way into that knockout stages, which is essentially the quarter-final playoff. And what they're trying to do is now finish either first or second. But realistically, they can't really catch Leinster at this moment in time, unless Leinster loses like 3 or 4 games. Look, Leinster still has to tour South Africa. They have to play the Stormers and the Lions.
But we must admit that they are a tough opposition.
Absolutely.
They've been a champion team, although I must say they've slipped up a couple of times in the last couple of seasons. But in terms of just who they are, we know they are a top side. They are a clutch side, like they would say. But nonetheless, this is a funny game. That ball is oval, anything can happen. But just back to you in terms of having to pull back position, what do you think the chances are? Is it realistic that we can really look forward to them getting into those playoff positions?
I think the Stormers definitely will. They showed last week that they're getting that old spark back. And I say that old spark, they're getting that free-flowing game where they have the interplay between the backs and the forwards. They're scoring the tries and they're playing with a bit of confidence as well. The most important thing as well, I want to say, they have a lot of injured players that have returned Springboks. So they've only got Elliot Christ and losing problem. That's the only real problem there. They brought in cover now with the Lions.
Lovely. So, and that is the one thing that at the moment, when you look overall at the balance of the team, that is a bit of a worry. But one of the things that you mentioned, players coming back, what do you make of Warwick Kalan coming back into the fullback position? And then also, you're looking at Damien that's closer to the action now, not at 10 but at inside centre. How will that balance be for the team? Do you think it really makes him a very dangerous team?
Look, it makes it dangerous because remember now they have essentially 3 fly-offs. 3 guys that can run the show. They've got Manny Lobo, he can come at first receiver always, and they've got David who can cover there as well. And they've got Kalan as well. So they've got 3 options, attacking options where they'll keep the opposition on their toes all the time because they won't know who gets the ball at first receiver at times. That's one point. The second point is, we've seen David Williamson play at 12 2 years ago with the Stormers. He was successful there. But with that being said, we saw at Loftus though, we went Daniel Plessis 12 that it didn't really work out. And they played Kalan at fullback. So that could also be another dynamic. But just in terms of this, I think they need to have given Kalan the game because he's getting his form back as well. Remember? He's playing some good rugby now after that disastrous tour. And he's got his form back. So it was difficult for him not to keep him out the 50-man starting lineup. So Dobbo's trying to accommodate all his attacking threats of 10, Mani, 12, Damon and 15 Kalan.
But we all know that yes, you can have all of the attacking threats and when you look at the Stormers, they got attacking threats basically all over the field. But in this game of rugby, it all depends on the forwards as well. What is your take on the Stormers forwards in terms of not just the physicality, but in terms of dominating the opposition? Do you think they have what it takes in terms of the artillery that's at hand, besides the loose hit now?
So I want to start off the set pieces, the lineouts and scrums. The scrums have been at 93% the whole season, 90 plus, could be even higher now. So the scrums have always been strong, so that's where they're dominant. The lineouts have still been a little bit dodgy, but we saw last week when Andre Hugo Venter started and Salman came back starting, there was a bit of stability. So the lineouts is slowly coming back. The scrums are strong, so that's the area we can target Ulster.
Talking about the scrums though, so we got to talk about that. Kutsi is back. And of course he'll be scrumming against Frans van Herbe. And as we've heard, I've seen reports from Ethan Koopman in the newspaper as well, that these guys didn't hold back in practice, scrummaging against each other. And Davis Neyman also, you would say, he just closes his eyes looking at how they went about it. And what do you think? Do you think they'll be up for it? And especially, you know, Steven Kitsov is much loved here in Cape Town, of course, and must admit, one of my favorite Springboks, my favorite Springbok player. But today he's not my favorite. concede. If you're watching, you're not my favorite. But just in terms of for you, your interest, how do you think that's going to pan out? Would they want to have one over Kitsov and especially Ulster?
Of course, definitely, because I mean, remember, Abib Levy, the assistant coach, he said in the week, they've been coming at each other for 14 years at training sessions. With the Springboks, with the Stormers, with Western Province, and junior levels.
Yes.
So they know each other very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
They come from the same era from school level right to professional level. So they know each other from head to toe. They know each other how to scrum, the techniques, the strengths, the weaknesses. So they know each other very well. So that contest is always going to be a massive contest. I think that's going to be probably the highlight to see France with Kitsov tonight. Two good friends going at each other. Yo, I actually have no words. I can't actually explain how excited I am for that.
But put this into words in terms of just what type of reception do you think Kitsov's going to get today with from the faithful?
We already saw the warm up here. Okay, we turned the screen a little bit, maybe later. We saw Kitsov getting a bit of a welcome at the party.
Yes.
We
Party stand, yeah?
the party stand with Mr. Gillette. So Robert Gillette always, there's a lot of noise coming from there. So he's been welcomed already.
But
Obviously, he was the captain for 3 seasons or 2.5 seasons. So
nobody deserves it. He's really done. He's been faithful to the Stormers and Western Province as well. And we wish him every success, but not today. Today he can fail. Today he can fail.
Yeah.
But we love him, of course. And just seeing that we are in the hot seat, just your prediction for today. How do you think it's going to pan out?
So I actually just spoke to a colleague of mine. I said, for any away side that comes to DHL Stadium, it's very difficult to beat the Stormers here because they grow an extra arm and extra leg when they play at home ground. So
Yes.
there's only been 2 defeats at DHL Stadium. That was against Munster, even the final last year.
In the last couple of
and
years.
in the round robin. So the Stormers have lost 2 games essentially in 2 seasons, and then the one was against the Lions just at the end of COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I think the Stormers should win here tonight, and I think about 15 to 20 points.
And I think that is what we would want here as
And most
a
importantly, bonus points as well.
love that. And of course, you want that for the home team to make this a fortress, especially when they've moved from the much-loved Newlands, and it always takes a while for them to get themselves into a new stadium, and I think they've accomplished that. We've asked Dobbo about making Cape Town smile, and I think they've really put a smile on the faces of the Cape Town public, and so now we're looking forward to a great game tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mubeen Mohamed, Mr. Rugby, and I'll let him go now because he must go eat in 5 minutes.
Thanks, brother. Anytime.